What is up, boyos? And we're back with another car review. This is a series where I review movies in my car. I walk out of the theater and I review the movie. That's what we do. That's what we do here on Car Review. The wait is finally over, and I finally got to watch No Time to Die, James Bond. I've been looking forward to this movie literally since it was announced 2 years ago. I mean, it was probably announced like further back than that, but it was supposed to come out, I believe, in like March 2020. But then some weird, virus happened. I don't know. And it finally came out. It got pushed to October last year, and then it got pushed again. And then it finally came out October this year.
Bond, any thug can kill. I have to know I can trust you.
Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy.
You are a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
Is this really what you want? Always alone?
Was the wait worth it? I think it was. I thought this movie was absolutely incredible. It's probably one of the better Bond movies. And this is coming from someone who's actually a pretty massive James Bond fan. And when I say James Bond, I mean specifically Daniel Craig's James Bond. I think Daniel Craig as James Bond is fantastic. And I think he's probably the best Bond of our time. When I was younger, Pierce Brosnan was James Bond. And I remember when they announced Daniel Craig as James Bond, everyone got mad because he had blonde hair and blue eyes. And it's just kind of silly now in retrospect. Like, people got upset because he had blonde hair and blue eyes. It's just kind of silly. But he ended up being a fantastic Bond right from the get-go with Casino Royale. Casino Royale was a fantastic movie. It set the stage perfectly for what you were going to get from this James Bond, Daniel Craig. A more visceral, action-packed, aggressive James Bond, He's not so much wanting to use a pen that explodes, He'd rather just bust through a wall. That's more this James Bond's style. And it was fun to see as the movies progressed, he became more and more like a traditional Bond. And it was fun to see because Casino Royale really was an origin story for this James Bond. And throughout these 5 films, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre, and then now No Time to Die, we've kind of seen the progression, and No Time to Die is the perfect bow on this package. It really cemented him as the definitive Bond. It's going to be hard to replace him. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the franchise in the future. I'm excited to see the new Bond. But let's talk about this movie in particular. This movie is long, okay? And going into the movie, I think you need to go in with the mindset that this movie is going to be long. Because it is long. But if you go in knowing, like, this is a long movie, and this is the wrap-up for Daniel Craig's Bond, you're going to have a great time. Because this is a perfect spy action thriller. You get the stupid gadgets right at the beginning of the movie. You get to see Bond in his Aston Martin using all of his cool gadgets and shit. And to continue off of Spectre, which I believe is a very it's unneeded how hated that movie is, and I think No Time to Die elevates Spectre as a film, because it kind of continues the threads that were set in Spectre. We got Fragile from Death Stranding. She's back.
I'm fragile.
But not that fragile.
And, she's the love interest of Bond, and this is the lady that he wants to slow down for. I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. Definitely just go see it. But, she's back, and, maybe there's more to her that we don't know about. Maybe there's more to this whole story that we don't know about. And that's kind of what James Bond is all about. I would say one of the biggest issues of this movie is the James Bond cast of characters are very underutilized. They're all very underutilized. Specifically Moneypenny. Moneypenny is amazing in Skyfall. She's so cool. She's almost like just as badass as Bond. But she's just sort of a side character in this movie. Like very, very side character. And on top of that, M is a big part of this movie, as he should be, because he's like kind of the leader of the 00 unit. He's a side character as well. He's very unimportant. He's important to the story, don't get me wrong, but we've seen more. You expect more from M in the story. And Q, I think Q was perfectly utilized in this movie. Q is always the fun gadget guy. I think we saw plenty of Q. He was perfect. I think one of the standout roles in this movie, though, was Jeffrey Wright as Felix. He's back again. I won't say too much about it, but I thought he was incredible, and he was kind of the linchpin of this whole movie. He held it together. He was the emotional backbone of this movie. Like, for real, he was fantastic. Cary Fukunaga, the director of this movie, absolutely destroyed this movie. He killed this movie. It was so perfectly lit. It was beautifully framed. And of course, if you don't know who he is, he did the first season of True Detective, which is an absolutely incredible piece of television. And I was blown away by how beautiful this movie was. From the get-go. The opening of the movie is great. The section of movie with the Billie Eilish song playing, absolutely incredible. And not to mention Hans Zimmer's score, interweaving Billie Eilish's score or song into the score. It is absolutely phenomenal. This movie is incredible. If I had to rank all of the Bond movies right now, if you put a gun to my head, I would put Skyfall at number 1, Casino Royale at number 2, then No Time to Die right underneath that. And I think these 3 movies are all solid movies, and if anyone said one of these movies was the best one, I would completely understand. Of course, Spectre and then Quantum of Solace are underneath that. They're lesser movies, but I will say both Spectre and Quantum of Solace, underrated movies. They're both still great. People shit on Quantum of Solace way too much. That movie has some of the best action ever. And Spectre, they set up a ton in that movie. And for as much as they're trying to set up in that movie, they pull it off great. I think it's a great movie still. So basically, I guess what I'm saying is, if you're apprehensive on seeing James Bond No Time to Die, go see it, dude. It's a great time at the theater. It was an emotional experience for me because I've been waiting for a long time to see this movie. And I hope you guys all see it. I want to know what you guys think about it in the comments. Let me know. And I'll be back some other time with another car review. Maybe for Dune. Probably for Dune. Thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out all the other stuff and content. Whatever. Goodbye.